Hello, welcome. This is a video about comparing linear, exponential, and quadratic graphs and functions. Um, we're going to look at their graphs. We're going to look at their tables. You could also compare their. Sorry, you could compare their. Sorry, lost my train of thought. Equations. I'm sorry. So we could compare their graphs. We compare their tables, but we could also compare like what they look like in terms of their equations. And we're going to leave that part out here. We're just going to focus on the graphs and the tables. And how do we determine whether they're linear, exponential, or quadratic, looking at those two things. So let's look really quickly first at the graphs. If it is facing down on both sides, we've been doing this for a few months, we know these are quadratics. If, on the other hand, it goes up on one side, but then levels out on the other, could be like this, could be like that, it could be like this, but it doesn't go up on both sides, it doesn't go down on both sides. This is exponential. And then if it's a straight line, if you just write the word line and then put an AR on it, these are linear. Linear equations, linear functions, their graphs are straight lines. Could be like this, could be like this. It can actually be straight line, just horizontal. All of those are functions. Okay, let's go back and take a look at this table. The first thing I would always recommend is to take and look here. All along here, these all increase by 1. So it's all plus 1 on the x side. On this side, maybe it's a little less clear. And so I would take negative 1 and subtract the one before it, which in this case is negative 2. Notice that I put a minus, and then in addition to that, minus 2. So subtract negative 2. And if I want to look at what that looks like here, I take negative 1, subtract negative 2, and that gives me 1, which makes sense. You know, if I'm at 2 floors down in the basement and I go up 1 floor, I'm now just 1 floor down into the basement. But if you'll notice, 2 minus negative 1, what's that? 2 minus negative 1, well, that's 3. So this one is plus 3. All right, what about 7 minus 2? If I take 7 minus 2, that's 5. So this is an increase of 5. 2 plus 5, 7. I think I start to see the pattern here. 7 and 14. If I take 14 minus 7, that gives me 7. So this is plus 7. You might guess that the next one is plus 9, and you would guess correctly. So the next one would be 14 plus 9 would be 23. That's what it would be if we went to 4. So now you'd look at this and you might not recognize what that pattern is. You might, because we've done this before in class. We've seen that 1, 3, 5, 7 pattern. But what I want you to notice here is that if I take 3 minus 1 and I do the difference again, 3 minus 1 is 2. So this is plus 2. 1 plus 2, 3. If I take 5 minus 3, that's 2. 2 plus 3 plus 2 is 5. If I take 7 minus 5, that's 2. So this is, again here, plus 2. And so we call this the second difference, because difference means subtract in math. And so second difference, and the second difference is constant. And so the type of graph that we're dealing with here, this is quadratic. And the reasoning for that would be the second difference is constant. Okay. All right. We got this. Keep working hard.